I'm Wesley Morris.
I am Ty Burr.
And we are now going to try to figure out why on earth George Clooney bothered making the American.
Because he's got this urge in him to do these art house films that he probably saw when he was, 20, and it's set in the 1970s, and maybe he was a little high, and he
little
thought
Antonioni,
like when he did Solaris.
Yes. But honestly.
And The American is like a fake Antonioni movie thriller. It's like The Passenger without Jack Nicholson and without much of a reason for me.
Down to the kids getting off the bus at the very end. I mean, this movie has a lot of interesting influences, and it looks nice.
And I give him credit for trying something different. And part of me feels kind of amused in a horribly elitist fashion at the fact that a lot of people are going to go to the multiplex to see the new George Clooney movie and be faced with this very slow, very still European art house thriller and going to just not know what they're dealing with.
But, I mean, don't you feel like the problem with the movie, though, is that it's caught between being both those things at the same time without really being good at either thing?
Yes. I agree.
I just feel like George Clooney is probably not the right actor for a part like this anyway.
He's playing a hitman. That's all we know. He's the American. He's a mysterious, as you put it, with artisanal craft. He
constructs these guns
and we don't know really who employs him. We don't know where he's from. We don't know any backstory. He's basically Alain Delon, one of those old French thrillers. And you're right. He brings none of his charm to the role because the role does not need charm or wit or sort of that devilish twinkle that he does very, very well, and you sort of go to see him for.
He's not an existential actor.
No, he's not.
And I think that the other problem with the movie is that it has a plot. And at some point, the plot begins to catch up with the sort of quiet existential areas of the movie, and the two things just sort of ram into each other without
quite literally at the
making much sense. And you got a lot of beautiful women being beautiful women and with these wonderful accents.
With their beautiful clothes off and beautiful food.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of, it's set in Abruzzo, Italy. Just in case you want to know the influences there, it literally is a shot of a Sergio Leone movie on TV at one point, and somebody's references.
This is a Sergio Leone movie.
Oh, really?
Italiano. The director is Anton Corbijn, who is really good.
He's a photographer
and music
famous
video director.
And he did the rock film about
Control.
Yes,
Ian Curtis.
About the
and
which I like a lot.
He's got a really good eye, but I think he is sort of misserved by a screenplay, which is based on a book that doesn't really allow anything. It either nothing needs to happen in this movie or everything.
And it's caught between incident and atmosphere. And
neither
decide which one.
Neither is really very interesting. There's a lot of really good sexual jokes, like that when the George Clooney
all the gunplay,
unfolds a gun on a picnic blanket and gives it to a woman, and who was also really interesting. There's a lot of potentially interesting things.
And like I said, I give him credit for trying something different. But and you're right, it narrows and narrows and narrows as it goes on. So nice try for George Clooney. And if you do go see it this weekend, have some coffee beforehand, just so you know what you're getting into.
Or you can rent Out of Sight again.
There you go.
Frankly, that's probably the better way to go.
I'm Ty Burr.
I'm Wesley Morris.